I don't know if I can get up this. Yeah. That was pretty good, pretty steep. I never tried that one before because it's pretty sandy, right? But now that the sand's wet, not too bad.
Right on, Jewel. Let your spirit be free. With the wind at your back and the whole
I told you I knew where I was.
Jewel. Let your heart be your guide. In the depths of the thunder, it's your rant and your ride.
All right, I'm just over here playing in the lot next to my house. You can see poodles everywhere. You know, it's officially winter time. You can see some dusting up on the hills there too. So I wanted to ride in El Dorado. You know, it's my favorite place to ride, motorcycle or e-bike. I think I enjoy it more nowadays on the e-bike than sometimes on the motorcycle, just because I don't have to worry. As you know, I don't have to worry. If the e-bike breaks, I can push it out, carry it out, I can get it out very easily. Motorcycle, I've never broke down in there. I've never had a flat, knock on wood, but it could be an issue. I see the dirt bikes are out over here having fun because the sand is all wet. It's freaking cold, and there's going to be mud puddles everywhere. Not little mud puddles. Out there in the desert, there'll be 50-yard mud puddles. Anyway, I'm just jibber jabbering, you know, but you know, but the ground is a whole lot nicer with moisture in it. We'll go over here to the sand and prove that. And I do ride my dirt bikes in the winter. Try to stay out of the mud though, because you know, my Husky's got one bad fork seal on it now from a mud ride last year. Only takes one ride in the mud and it'll ruin your fork seals. So I may have to change my fork seals on the Husky. I won't ride the gas. I won't ride the gas in this stuff because, you know, I don't have fork savers on it yet. Seal savers. And, yeah. So she's parked probably until spring. Who knows? But, you know, the sand should just be got kind of a crusty layer on it, or it's going to have more moisture in it. It's going to be really nice. Woohoo! Makes a difference. I should bring my friend's legit mountain bike over here and try it again, see how far I can pedal up that. Probably can't, because sand is still sand. But this is what I like about, you know, the fat tire e-bikes is so cool, you know, because they just eat the sand up. They just motor through the sand. Fat tire. Fat tire. Fat tires. So I just wanted to come over here and goof around and chit chat. You know, it's almost Thanksgiving. It's almost Thanksgiving. Which is cool. But you know, I'll either go over to the Tahoe Trail or the I'll either go over to the Tahoe Trail over by West Carson and do that ride again. But you know, only a couple things I'm allergic to. Really cold weather and mean girls. Mean people, actually. I'm being a smart aleck. Mean people. Do do do. Yeah, I might go get my friend's bike. Get over here. I don't know if I can get up this. Yeah. That was pretty good, pretty steep. I never tried that one before because it's pretty sandy, right? But now that the sand's wet, not too bad. Not too bad now that the sand's wet. Pretty fun. Then we'll get out here this year and do another ride in El Dorado. In El Dorado in the snow. Another ride in El Dorado in the snow. Finish what you were gonna say, Jupe. They're hanging on every word. I doubt it. Some of these hills are pretty steep, but they're oh my goodness. You better run, bird. Through the sand. Well, I like how people dump their woodpile chips out here. I don't know. I didn't clean my bike, which I usually do after every ride, but I know I'm going back to El Dorado. That's no excuse, trust me. No excuse for not cleaning your vehicles, because it's been a week. You know, I'm like, I won't clean it. I'll go back there in a couple days. It's been a week. This is usually pretty sandy, but as you can see, pedal, pedal, pedal. Not very sandy at all. Just kind of fun is what it is. Just kind of fun. Some of the hills I probably could make up. Not gonna really try that. What I gotta do is get a dropper post for this bicycle. It'll be a under the seat dropper post. Momentum is always the best. If you get a run at it. I probably wouldn't make that from the bottom up. But if you got some speed with it, no problem. If you got a little speed with it, woo! Whoa! Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa! I should have leaned it over and ran it hard. Am I gonna make it? Oh my goodness. Momentum. out here where you can get a good run at it. Anyway, I guess really that's enough video. Should bring my friend's bike over here and see what I think unpowered, so I can get huffing and puffing a little bit. Get a little huffing and puffing going. But you should have pretty good traction. In this wet sand. Well, gosh, they rode the motorcycles over here quite a bit, and I don't even think I heard them. I usually hear them ripping it up. I'm like, why don't you go out to the desert? I go out to the desert more than those motorcyclists do on my e-bike. Now, if I go into El Dorado, there should be a ton of water in there. A ton. You know, like a metric ton. Yep, so like I said, I didn't really have a solid rant today. Maybe I did have a rant, but I forgot it. You know how that goes. You know how that goes. Sun's in my eyes over here. Want to make sure there's no rocks or anything in the way. No. I can't get enough of it, bro. Makes me laugh every time. Nothing like two-wheel drive bicycle. It's nothing like a two-wheel drive bicycle. I always wanted one. From the time I was a kid, you know, they used to advertise in the back of comic books those They're not toad goats, but they, gosh, now I can't think of the name of it. I'll think it later, you know, after I stop the video. But they have those two-wheel hunting motorcycles, you know, and I always wanted one of those. I mean, from when I was a kid, I'm like, yeah, how smart is that? You know, two wheels are better than one. I knew that as a kid in first grade. I'm like, that thing's a bomb, man. You can go anywhere, and you practically can. But those things are cool. I'd still want one, but you know, back then they were like $895 or less. Now they're like $6,095 or $7,000, and it's the same darn motorcycle. Nothing's really changed on them. Inflation. Inflation. Ooh, alcohol. Yeah, let's drink it and throw it on the street.